Dragon Ball GT. Omega Shenron has been defeated, but a fateful wish would call forth an even stronger foe.
This can't be. When I said I wish we had gotten one more battle together, I didn't mean against someone else.
The Saiyan cocked his arm back, pouring his energy into it, as the roar of a dragon echoed around them. Goku pushed himself forward, his eyes focusing on his foe, an unassuming and gentle-faced Saiyan. Though Goku didn't really believe he was a Saiyan, he seemed more like a monster. The Dragon Fist is about to consume the man's body, but in a split second, he lifts his arm up. Goku's hand comes crashing into his palm. Windows shatter all around them, as the Dragon Fist is stopped in its tracks and dissolved. Goku's eyes widened.
Just what are you?
Don't you know? I'm BASE CABBA. An insane whoosh of wind sends Goku tumbling away, his path interrupted when none other than Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta appears to catch it.
Having trouble, Kakarot? Against such a puny kid?
Vegeta said, dropping Goku to burst towards Cabba. Kakarot had no time to warn him of the demon behind those eyes. Cabba was surprised too, though very happy to see his master in such high spirits. Truly, he was amazing. A brand new form? He couldn't wait to learn more. Vegeta was nearly hit by a punch, dodging just in time behind Cabba, but his strike was intercepted by a single finger over his head. Cabba's speed and power. It was unbelievable.
Master! There's something different about you right now.
Vegeta was insulted. Was this kid mocking him? The prince jumped back, screaming out and expanding his aura.
I don't recall taking a student.
Vegeta began to throw a barrage of kicks and punches at Cabba, but he couldn't believe his eyes when every single one of his strikes couldn't even make it past his aura. Cabba just laughed awkwardly, rubbing the back of his head. He had no idea Master Vegeta had such a sense of humor. Cabba's face then changed, a serious glare as he got ready to attack, but the mere movement of his arm pushed Vegeta back. Goku realized they were really in hot water. This guy acted all nice, but he was a real threat. Using every bit of energy he had collected from his fallen friends as they cheered him on, Goku once again glowed red, his super full power Saiyan 4 illuminating the sky. His speed was unparalleled as he swooshed past Vegeta and landed a clean blow into Cabba's face. Goku smirked. Finally, progress. But Cabba smiled slightly. He hadn't moved much from where he was. But that was a good blow. He'd just show him a better one, appearing behind Goku and chopping the back of his neck. Goku smacked into the ground, though he jumped back and next to Vegeta. He couldn't just be a Saiyan. He had to be a demon or something. Maybe a Namekian shadow dragon. Vegeta asked point blank.
Who the hell are you?
Please try to stay calm, Master. I'm Cabba, a Saiyan from planet Sadala.
Bulma. Trunks. Bulla.
The young man then appeared behind the two Super Saiyan 4s and fired a devastating Gallic gun. Vegeta couldn't believe it. His own techniques? Goku had no other choice. If they wanted to stand a chance against him, if he wanted to leave this world in peace with Shenron, then they would have to once again fuse. Vegeta hated the idea of fusing with Goku so soon after doing it against Omega, but he accepted.
Then I'll show you the power of the ultimate Saiyan.
Let's fight fair and square!
Goku and Vegeta synchronized their actions, their power evenly matched. As they converged in the center, Cabba didn't recognize the technique at first, but he soon realized it was similar to the Potara earrings that gave birth to Kefla. This got significantly more interesting.
Fusion! Ha! I am neither Goku nor Vegeta. I'm the guy who's going to stop you. I'm gonna make this real quick.
Let's make it a good fight.
Gogeta and Cabba burst towards one another, their clashes shaking the entire world. It seemed like Gogeta could finally stand a chance. The two warriors blurred around the battlefield, their fists colliding like thunderclaps. Gogeta grinned, pouring more power into each strike, pushing himself to new heights. He was evolving with every punch, his form refining, his movements becoming sharper and faster. It felt like he was tapping into the very essence of Super Saiyan 4. He could feel it. This truly was his strongest form yet. You're not bad, kid, but let's see you handle this. With a roar, Gogeta's aura flared up, the sheer energy swirling around him like a hurricane. Gogeta duplicated himself into multiple beings. He had used this previously against Omega Shenron, but back then he was toying with him. Now this Kamehameha was the real deal. Cabba's eyes widened as all the beams collided at once. The other Gogetas disappeared. The real one chuckled. Maybe he went a little too hard on him. But the smoke began to dissipate, and Cabba remained, with fire in his eyes. Gogeta couldn't get a word out, as Cabba grabbed him by the face and slammed him into the ground. Wow, Gogeta, you really are getting stronger. This is so exciting. Gogeta's brow furrowed in frustration.
You think this is a game? I'll show you why I am the strongest fusion in existence.
Cabba smiled, tilting his head. Oh, I know you're strong, but don't you get it? I'm relative to BASE Universe 6 Tournament Vegeta, who was already stronger than BASE Resurrection F Goku. That Goku absorbed the power of the Super Saiyan God into his base form, a power that threatened to destroy the entire of Universe 7. You understand now, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta? BASE CABBA is multiversal, ally to Frost, nightmare to you. What? In an instant, Cabba moved, his speed far surpassing Gogeta's expectations, slamming his fist with all his might into the fused warrior and sending him across the battlefield, crashing through mountains and carving a deep trench into the curvature of Earth. Cracks in reality began to occur, as in a different dimension, in a McDonald's. Whoa, Kachan, you feel that? It feels like a villain is powering up. Maybe it's time for us to suit up again.
I don't think that's what it is, Deku. It's something beyond, something scarier.
Then, in another reality, Itadori Yuji turned around. The entire building was shaking, but it didn't feel like an evil spirit. It felt like something greater. Even in a reality full of pirates, the whole crew of the Going Merry had to hang on as the ship rocked around like never before. Gogeta tried to stand up as Cabba landed before him. Why did you make me do this? Think, Gogeta, think! Gogeta growled, wiping the dust from his face as he stood up, looking at the cracks of reality all around him.
What the hell? Uh-oh!
You're doing great, really. But I think it's time to wrap this up. I've had a lot of fun, but I don't want to drag this out for too long. Gogeta's eyes widened. Cabba hadn't even been trying. All this time, he was toying with him. Despite everything Gogeta had thrown at him, Cabba remained in his base form, effortlessly countering every move.
No way, you mean all of this was nothing to you?
Cabba nodded, a gentle smile on his face. It's been a fun fight, but let's not overdo it. I wouldn't want to embarrass you any further. Gogeta whispered to himself that there was no way this was happening. He's faster than Pikkon, who rushed from heaven to hell, which are both infinite. But you see, Gogeta, that was but an outlier. Gogeta swooshed backwards, his aura flaring. Cabba followed his lead, powering up just a little, the force of it shaking the entire solar system. Gogeta was blown back, barely able to comprehend the gap between them. This wasn't just strength, it was absurd power creep.
I can't believe this. In BASE?
Cabba chuckled and shrugged. What can I say? Sometimes simple is the best.
You're going straight to hell!
Goku and Vegeta's fused voice boomed across the battlefield. If this wasn't going to kill Cabba, nothing would.
Ultra Big Bang! Kamehameha!
The colossal blue and golden energy beam roared out of Gogeta's hands, tearing through the air with unstoppable force, hurling straight towards Cabba. The sheer magnitude of the attack dwarfed anything seen before. But Cabba, to everyone's surprise, still didn't transform. He remained in his base form, staring down the oncoming wave of destruction. He responded with his own Gallic gun, hoping to make his master proud. As the blast collided, it shook Gogeta up, but this time, it wouldn't be enough. The fusion was sure of it as he roared, and it was working. He was going to defeat BASE CABBA, as slowly the Big Bang Kamehameha overcame the Gallic gun. But the Universe 6 Saiyan smiled, looking contemplative, and smirked. Seems like my regular Gallic gun might not cut it this time. With a flick of his wrist, Cabba powered up just slightly, the ground beneath him cracking under the sheer pressure of the aura. Alright, how about this? My Gallic gun, but super. Suddenly, with a simple addition of that word, Cabba's Gallic gun exploded into an intense wave of energy, far beyond anything Gogeta had ever seen. The purple beam expanded rapidly, surging forward and overwhelming Gogeta's attack with ease. The fusion's eyes widened as the wave of power rushed towards him.
No way! Damn it!
Cabba's super Gallic gun swallowed up Gogeta's attack. The fused warrior barely had time to process what was happening before the beam engulfed him entirely.
No! How could I lose to BASE CABBA? Dragon Ball Super Power Scaling is bullshit!
Damn it! What a way to go out!
With a final flash of light, Gogeta was completely disintegrated, his voice echoing into the void as his body was erased by the immense power of Cabba's attack. The battlefield fell silent. Cabba stood there, blinking in confusion, his hands still raised. The dust settled, revealing the absence of any trace of Gogeta. The only thing left was the eerie silence that filled the air. Cabba scratched the back of his head, looking around the now quiet battlefield. Did I overdo it? He floated down to the ground, glancing up to the sky where Gogeta had once stood. He couldn't sense any sign of Goku nor Vegeta. Well, maybe they're just taking a break, he thought for a moment. Then he realized the severity of the situation. This was a version of Universe 7, right? They have Super Dragon Balls here, correct? Cabba stared at the empty horizon, a mix of nervousness and guilt across his face. Yeah, I think I might need those.
Vegeta, I'm sorry.
Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and a special thank you to the patrons of the channel. And I gotta give a huge thank you to my editor Chris Diaz, who edited half this video, as well as a thank you to @ShotWilly, who gave me permission to use his art for the video. Remember, this is just for fun. Both sides have compelling arguments, but what I care the most about is just how much sauce Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta has. Cabba is not touching that.